But one of the things that I really want to make sure that I draw your attention to is this coming Wednesday, July 27th at 6 p.m., we will be having a public hearing in connection with a zoning ordinance amendment that will be directed toward high energy industries, high energy usage industries. Specifically, this is designed to assist us with regard to the cryptocurrency mining industry that is set up its place here in Niagara Falls. As you know, a few months back, the City Council, at our request, issued a moratorium on the cryptocurrency mining in our city, rules and regulations that we want to develop and put in place to keep both the industry here, but also to maintain the quality of life for those locations that are in proximity to these facilities. And so we thought it was important to impose the moratorium to slow down any expansion so that we could get these pieces in place in order to protect, again, the residents in the area, their quality of life. Currently, we're aware of 2 active mining facilities. One is located on Buffalo Avenue and the other is on Frontier Avenue here in the city. And both are located within blocks of residences, residential neighborhoods. You know, people are trying to enjoy their yards. It's where students are going to school and playing outside, and families gather with their friends. Over the course of this entire year, my office has received numerous complaints from residents regarding noise that's been generated from these facilities. Part of the reason why we made sure that the moratorium was in place and then got to work quickly to establish an ordinance that will assist us in helping keep the industries going. We appreciate the business investment, but we appreciate it to the extent that it is consistent with the quality of life and the peace and quiet enjoyment of the residences that are nearby. So many of them, when they've called, residents who have called have said that the noise is unbearable. Many have even said they feel like prisoners in their own homes. They can't go outside. They don't have peace and quiet. Some have said that the noise has kept them awake all night. They've had to change where their bedroom is in their houses. People don't have to live like that. They shouldn't live like that. And we should be able, with the help of the council, we should be able to put in place an ordinance that will provide direction, parameters, and we're hoping a better relationship between these cryptocurrency miners and the neighborhoods that are adjacent to them. You know, some members of our team went out to Buffalo Avenue, to the Buffalo Avenue facility about a week ago in the afternoon, just to sort of get a feel for what the noise was like, to be able to say, okay, this is what we hear at midday, middle of the week. And if you could, I don't know that I could describe what it's like. So I'm going to ask you just to listen to the noise that's coming from the large cooling fans and the machines that are used there. Did you notice the traffic passing through the area and you could barely hear the traffic? Remember, this is busy Buffalo Avenue. It's not some quiet lane somewhere. Buffalo Avenue has its share of traffic. It is a well-used east-west corridor within the city. And yet, as you just experienced, the traffic, you could barely hear it as it goes by. They were stationed across the street. Our team was stationed across the street toward the back of an empty lot when they recorded this. I don't know, I couldn't tell you the distance, but we certainly weren't standing on top of the property line. We were significantly far away on the other side of the street. So, and with that, there was the noise in that location. So you can imagine this is noise that's happening during the day, and assume that we are thinking about what that noise would be like at night when other things around us are typically quieter. You could imagine that the sound would carry and seem even louder in these folks' backyards as they're trying to enjoy a quiet summer evening. You know, one woman sent an email to me, and to be honest with you, as I read it, it was sickening to hear some of the description of what her life is like. She talked about being unable to sleep in her own bedroom. She said that she tried moving her bed in other rooms in the house, but was unable to find one place where she could find quiet in order for her to get a good night's sleep. You know, once she emailed me, I asked her, I said, well, can you give me a sense of what it's like, knowing already just from other residents' complaints and information. But I asked her, I said, can you give me a sense of what this is like for you? Now, this resident lives about 5 blocks away from where the Buffalo plant was, and I asked her if she could send me something. And so she sent me some video, and the video is right at her home. So she sent me video indicating what it was like at her home, some 5 blocks away from this Buffalo Avenue facility. To be honest with you, when I first listened to those videos, I can't imagine any one of us thinking that that's acceptable. And so, you know, it doesn't bode well for the quality of life for those people there. And quite frankly, you know, my position here and the position of all of us in local government is to make sure that the residents have quality of life that they can enjoy. There are so many things we have to improve on, but the one thing we're not going to allow is we're not going to allow other intrusions to interrupt the quality of life for our residents. I won't permit that. I won't stand for that. And that's why we're advocating this zoning ordinance. So what we're hoping to do, we're hoping to limit decibel levels from these facilities. We're also concentrating on decibel levels at different times of the week, as well as different times of the day, so that individuals living in those neighborhoods nearby can really enjoy their backyards again, can enjoy if they have a pool, can enjoy if they're gonna have a picnic. Just the simple things that so many take for granted. These people right now, with that noise, are literally under siege. And while we're hoping that the industry will appreciate and be a partner and cooperate with us, we fully expect that if enforcement is possible, or is necessary rather, we'll be ready to do that. What we're hoping to do is we're hoping to bring the decibel level down to somewhere in the neighborhood of normal conversation, the noise you may hear from a dishwasher, or moderate rainfall. But what we're most concerned about is that we know that this noise is continual. So to say that, well, and we've heard this from the industry, well, the noise is only so many decibels, and that's not damaging. Well, it's damaging if it's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's damaging if it's relentless. It's like being in an airplane factory 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It may not necessarily be damaging if it were 20 minutes, like when your alarm rings to wake you up in the morning. Imagine if you had to listen to your alarm at that noise 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Eventually it damages your hearing. So we are going to be recommending, and we are hopeful the City Council will approve regulations that will indicate where and how these facilities will develop. It'll speak in terms of setbacks from their property line to push them back farther away from the property line. It will, as I indicated, talk about decibel levels that will be expected. These rules obviously are being put in place because we need to recognize that while industry is welcome, it needs to be a good neighbor, a good corporate neighbor with the residences that are around, in and around where they're operating. We think these rules that we want to put in place, these are rules that we think will improve the quality of life for the people that live near these facilities, but will also allow the facilities to continue to operate. So what I'm hoping is that if you see this video, you or if you're unable to, your friends, please pass the word around. I would like to have as many residents come out to that public hearing on July 27th, 6 p.m., City Council chambers, to express your views, to accept this zoning ordinance modification, because it will help us control the noise, it will help us control the growth, and while we will welcome the industry, the tech industry, into our community, we want to do it in a way that's respectful and responsible to the neighborhoods that it's next to. So I hope to see many of you, if not all of you, out there on July 27th at 6 p.m. Pass the word along. If you have an interest in making sure that the cryptocurrency and data mining data centers are all operating within certain appropriate requirements, please come on out and have your voice heard.